Local Welcome is designing inclusive rituals and digital infrastructure for community leaders or civil society. For example, a way to cook and eat a meal with some refugees who want to develop new livelihoods or learn English, and some older people who might otherwise eat alone. We've raised quite a lot of money quite recently by not telling a funder what we're going to do or when. Some of this will be building on the wise things that Alistair said, but essentially we've been prototyping and iterating how to talk to funders about our experience of both agile but also human-centered design. Thanks. Nice. We've already heard a little bit about what that means, but here are some of my kind of reckons around that. One is I worked as an organizer for a long time, and that means telling people in communities who have a little bit of power how power works and how they can build it together. But part of that is demystifying power and helping people understand that power is neither good nor bad, but it is the ability to act. We'll come back to that. But my reckon with this is that technology can be understood in a similar way. For us, the most important thing was about this idea of the rituals and crafts of basically listening really well, trying things, and learning from them. Here's a little story. When we invented electricity, not me personally, but people long ago, there were factories with steam engines at one end and drive shafts through the middle. Some of you may know this story. The first factories that changed to being electric factories, they took the steam engine out and put an electric engine in and left the drive shaft down the middle. That's the obvious thing to do, right? Because you replace one technology with another. And it took a while to realize we don't necessarily need the drive shaft. And in a similar way, organizations seem to be learning that we can focus on a goal, but that at its best, technology can change everything about how we reach that goal. Talk to me afterwards, because there's a lot more on that. Here's some stories about things that I did before this. I've mostly worked in politics and campaigning and organizing, but with some little excursions into failure that I learned loads of good things. Here's some of the failures. So I started a biofuel company in Zimbabwe in 2007, and all we needed was the oil price to remain above $200 a barrel, and an Irish property investor, that's its own joke, to stay liquid enough to give a million quid, and the 2008 election to be a peaceful transition so I got a job. In Darfur, clever people like Alistair were using Clever to decide where to put boreholes, and I went and chatted with, for example, the local governor who didn't have a map, and lots of Dinka people were going back to a Wheel East province to vote, and there were riots at the boreholes, and it was an interesting clash of cultures and technologies. There's too many stories here, but in Syria, I helped some amazing surgeons who wanted to 3D print prosthetics. I knew that that was a great story and got some good press coverage from it, but also helped them to decide to actually 3D scan remaining limb fragments and use the technology for a specific part of a supply chain that was eventually helpful, but not doing the kind of sexy thing that they thought by looking at the technology. I'll tell you about the others if you're interested over another glass of something. Here's some things that I've learnt, and I wrote this one down, so I want to try and read it, hence the prototyping bit. A lot of humans have similar needs. A lot of humans have a lot of needs. This isn't a haiku. A lot of humans have some power. Some humans have a lot of power. And you can ask me about that as well over a glass of wine. But broadly, I was thinking a lot about this analogy between power and technology and the possibility that through these rituals of design, technology can amplify power. That's neither good nor bad. It can be really scary and really exciting. People are using drones to drop grenades into camps, and they're also using drones to drop medicine into sieges. So, the other things that I said, but with pretty pictures. Technology can, with good design, increase the speed, scalability, and sustainability of human action. Or in other words, amplifying power. However, we've got to be really careful who we listen to, not people like me, but people with real needs, real humans. It's really simple. Anyone heard of Burning Crick? You work for me, of course you've worked. That's my alarm. He said that politics is a negotiation of difference without violence. As an organizer, I spend a lot of time doing a certain type of listening. And in recent years, trying to learn about technology and design and agile, it's been really interesting to draw some parallels between politics at its best and using technology at its best. So, how about we design the world as it should be by listening to real people with real needs, prototyping and testing, and then learning, and particularly if you are funders or people who give money to other people to do things, I'd love to talk. We've got loads of money, we don't need your money, but it would be really good to start to help funders to think about agile. Thank you.